Yeah, you logged in 2 devices, I think. That's yes. Log out from one of the device. You will get resound. Yeah. Here, we are in web UI. Here UI, here it is user interface. How to create our user interactive page, that comes under UI. Here how user can interact with an application, that is UI. Here if I want to interact with this GoToMeeting, I have to log in. Then only I can see that home. Then only I can see that home page of this GoToMeeting. Suppose if I want to access that meeting hub. This meeting hub, if I log in, then only I can access this meeting hub. So I can see my past trainings, I can click on download button, I can access my application, all these things I can do. Here if I download or if I upload, whatever I do it, this data will come from database. This data, whatever data it is showing here, the total data will come from the database. Here we are getting some data from the database. Here we are getting the data, whatever data we can see here, that we are getting from the database. Here from the database we can access that here values. Here I'm able to see that here UI technology, sorry, how many trainings are done, what all the list of trainings are available, what is my past training, present training, all informations I can see in this web page. Here in this time, what I'm doing here, if I'm developing my output here, by that, here if I want to access something, if I log in, then only I can access it. As the outsider, if I don't have any login account, I cannot access my account. I cannot use my application. So here what we are doing here, if I am accessing anything, so I have to access it with the object. With the object only I have to access it. Without object, sorry, with the URL only I can access, and with login only I can access. Without login I cannot access. Yesterday I showed that AVEC drink. For every refreshment time, here that AVEC drinks, how it is showing here, every refreshment time it will show you different logo, different background colors, different theme. See, if I once again, if I refresh it, you can see that yellow theme. Here once again I refreshed, here I can see that green. Here once again I refreshed, here I'll get it here something pink color. So this way we can access it. If I click on down key, see here, if I click on that down key, see here, key down, so by that how it will show that output. See, drink better. Some content is moving in curve shape, some content is moving in left and right. Here that can is sitting on some area, and then can is moving along with that area, along with that content. Okay, so this type of thing we can create it here. This type of application we can create it with our program. Here this type of application we can easily develop it with our program. Here I'm able to create my application here. Here I'm able to create my application like this. Here if I am submitting something, so with that submission I can able to access my account, I can able to access my data. Here what I'm doing here, that content is moving in oval shape, that content is moving in circle shape, whatever the shape we required, that we can create it with our front-end programming. Not only like this, yesterday I showed you one link, the Browser Lab website. Here in that website, according to my mouse movement, I can move that bubble. So many types of effects we can create it. Water wave movements, water rippling effects, so many bubbling effects, water bubble effects we can create it with our program. See, along with my mouse movement, how the bubble will move. Okay. See, if I double click on that, that bubble will blast, one more bubble will come. If I click down key, that bubble size continuously increase depends on that screen. screen to screen. See here, a background with a black color and it is not moving down. See, content is not moving down, it is bouncing on one platform. If I forcefully go down, that will get lost. So this is also here, it is water wave movements, water bubble effect. We can create it with jQuery. We can create this type of attractive user attractive user interfaces. We can create it with our programming. Okay, here we are learning here. If I am doing something, so I have to implement that particular code. So if we want to learn UI technologies, I have to learn all these programmings. So one is here HTML. Here first topic is HTML 4 and 5. Second one is CSS 2 and 3. Third one is here JavaScript. Fourth one will be here jQuery. Here fifth one will be here Ajax. Here sixth one is here responsive design. Here responsive design. Then seventh one will be Bootstrap. Here 10th one, here these all topics I am going to cover you. Hello, is my voice clear for you all? Durga Prasad is getting breaking. Durga Prasad, I think from your side network issue. That's why you are getting breaking voice. Okay, here seventh topic will be Bootstrap. Here next eighth topic will be less and SAS programming. Here ninth one will be the project. So usually I'll cover these all topics in our course. Okay, here let me save it. Here 9 o'clock. Here 9 p.m. Here today's date 28th June 2022 at 9 p.m. Okay, here we are in UI technologies. We observed what is UI. If I learn HTML, I can create content of the web page. If I use only HTML, how the output will be? When I right click here, here you can see that application like this. Here when I right click here, I can see that output will be, you can see that doc type HTML head and body. If I remove this header tag, just delete it. See, I removed that div tag. See here how the output will be. So no use of any content. If I don't write any head, if I don't write the header part, see, how can I display my output? Is there any content here? No. See, no use of displaying the content without a header tag. See, by this we can understand. Suppose if you remove inspect element, here I am removing header tag. Okay. So mainly here, what is the use of header tag? As of now, we don't know. But here I removed one tag. You can see that that content is not properly aligned. Here, whatever content we are showing here, that content is not properly aligned.
Ma'am, your screen is stuck.
Screen stuck. Why?
It's coming late.
Oh. Till now, I have taken class and I'm near to router. Till just before I have taken one class, I cut the class and joined in your class. Okay, fine. Yeah, here if I don't write the header part of the application, that output will be like this. If I don't write the header part of the application, that output will display like this. Here there is no proper alignment of the content. Where is top, where is bottom, what will be the link, what is the menu, that all we cannot understand if we develop our output like this. So if we use only HTML, our output will be like this. If I use it along with that HTML, here along with this HTML, if I add CSS to this, Here, once again, refresh it. You can see that CSS code. Along with this HTML, if I add CSS for this, you can see that proper aligned content. So how many classes I have taken, how many are my previous class, how many are my present class, these all we can write it here. With these all we can write it in the application. So this will be here if I don't write the header part, it won't display any proper aligned content. If I write the header part, I can show you that proper aligned content. So in this time, what we can understand here, if you want to show any proper aligned content, that content we can write it with head tag. So what is the use of head? Head is used for writing CSS code, JavaScript code, jQuery code, Ajax code. Like that, almost every code we write it in the header part. Inside the body tag, what content we required. And if we required images, we write images. If we required any other thing, here images or here bank, a div tag or a menu bar or a left and right aligned content. Those all we can show to the user by here properly aligned content we can show to the user by adding that CSS, by adding JavaScript, by adding jQuery. If we add all those things, then only we can show you properly aligned content. Otherwise, we cannot show any proper aligned content for our application. If we use that CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Ajax, then only it will show you that proper format of content. Okay. Here, using jQuery, we can create plenty of effects. Here, jQuery UI effects, jQuery draggable effect, like that, we have all external jQuery libraries. When we learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, all we write it inside the header part of the application. So how many tags we required for our program, how many files we required. Again, it is breaking. Yes. Voice also breaking. Is my voice breaking to all?
Screen also stuck, ma'am. It's not moving.
Where, what screen you can see? What screen you are able to see? Yes.
Go to create a training. That one only.
No. Here I am showing
My trainings.
paint,
Go to meeting.
paint
Go
file.
to
Paint
trainings.
file. All of you, is my screen stuck? No. Satyasev, you try to rejoin. Okay. Yeah. Here HTML creates the content of the web page. We can write images, we can write tables, we can write div tags, we can write paragraphs, we can write sections, articles, assigned tag, footer tag, header tag. Like this, we can write it all the tags. All tag programming will learn it under HTML. Using HTML, we can create the content of the web page. That content will be how we are creating content of the web page. We'll learn it under HTML. Here, HTML creates image tag, table tag, header tag, footer tag, div tag. These all we write it under HTML. So, what is the use with the CSS? Here, HTML tag we write it like this. Here, what is the use with the CSS? Yeah, CSS is mainly used for creating the style part of the web page. Here we are using here CSS. CSS is mainly used for creating the style part of the web page. Okay. Yeah, style part of the web page we can create it. So under this we'll learn here background color, how to write it, border, how to write it, and left and right, the text align, how to write it, text decoration, how to write it. And here like this we can write it here, font color, font face, font size, font weight, like this. All font related properties and all CSS related properties, how to use these all, we learn it under CSS. Here under the CSS we are going to learn how to write background colors, border, text properties, text decoration, font alignment, all we can write it with CSS. Here CSS of the application is mainly used for creating the style part. That style we can write 2D 3D graphics also. Here 2D 3D graphics also we can write it with the CSS. Under this we'll learn here how to write font size, font weight, font color, like that, all how to write it, those all we'll learn it under CSS. Okay, here control is. Next, when we move to the JavaScript, here JavaScript time, how to write validations. If you are submitting any application form without any data, if you search for login option, if you submit your data without submission, without login screen, sorry, if you click on the login button, you can log in for your application. Now, suppose if you want to log in, but you I clicked on the login button, submit button, but without entering any data. To check here Facebook login page, here I want to submit my data without enter anything. So we are getting this error message. This error message we will get it with JavaScript. Because of JavaScript we are getting this error messages. Here error messages we can display to the user by JavaScript. Here JavaScript is mainly used for creating the validation part of the web page, functionality. Main functionality of web page, functionality of web page, we can create it using JavaScript. Using JavaScript we can create functionality of the browser. So main functionality of browser we can create it with JavaScript. Here under this how to write our JavaScript coding, you can understand here. How to write cookies, how to write local storage, session storage, next cookies, and here document, local storage, session storage, cookies. Next, how can we write it with how can we write our application with local storage, session storage, cookies, model box, and how to write exception, how to write animations, how to write DOM. Like this, we have something object-oriented programming. All we'll learn it under JavaScript. Under JavaScript, we are going to learn all these topics. Okay, how to work out with all these topics, we'll learn it under JavaScript. Okay, here if you check your output for JavaScript here, see under only HTML, if I use it, we will use VS Code for execution of program. You can see just one example with only HTML. If I use only HTML, what will be the output? See, I can show you images. I can display my output like this. Horizontal line and big thick line, horizontal line. You can read that remaining content. If I use only HTML, output will be like this. Along with this HTML, if I use CSS for my application. Here, if I use CSS here, I can properly align my content. Proper alignment of the web page, we can do it by CSS. Here, left image, right image, center content, and menu bar. These all we can create it here, top menu bar and left and right and center and left paragraph, center paragraph, right side paragraph. These all we can create it with our front-end programming. Here using front-end programming, we are going to learn all these topics. Next. Here under this we can write, if I add the CSS for my project, I can show my output like this. If I add JavaScript here, See, object-oriented programming, animations, arrow function, closures, cookies, data types, external, local storage, map tag. Like this, so many concepts we will learn under JavaScript. Actually, in our course, half of our duration we will be in the JavaScript. Here, JavaScript is major time taking topic. So majorly we'll sit on JavaScript for the development of the code project. So we will use this JavaScript coding for developing the real-time application. Here, rather than JavaScript, we can use jQuery. Yeah, class-based object-oriented programming, everything I'll explain to you. Here, almost 20 hours of sessions will be in the JavaScript, object-oriented programming, class-based, prototype-based, polymorphism, inheritance, all we'll learn it under our JavaScript, advanced JavaScript also. I'll explain. Here, JSP is not required. JSP is a server page. We don't require any JSP pages here. Only JavaScript will learn it under our course. When we move on to the jQuery, jQuery will be the easiest way of developing. If I want to create hide and show, or if I want to create something, so when I use that external JavaScript file, so if I able to download that external JavaScript file, automatically we can execute our project, we can print our output. Okay, here if I write here using that jQuery, if I submit my application form, so that time it will get if I don't enter my any data, without entering any data, we write just only 2-3 lines of code, we can implement plenty of effects. So many effects we can create it with JavaScript, sorry, jQuery. jQuery cycle.all.js. By that you can show that fading effect, fade in, fade out effect. Here with that JavaScript jQuery, we can create cycle.js. Like that, we can write it here all jQuery effects. So many jQuery effects we can create it with our jQuery programming. Here under our jQuery programming, we are going to learn how to write water wave movements. Here ripple.js, see that execution. Here how to create water wave movements, you will understand here. See here, this way. See here, I can show you that water waves according to my mouse movement. Here if I double click it, it will be like this. Here this way. Here this way we can show our execution of our code. Okay. Here similar way, if you see here validations, jQuery validation, just right click here, run it with live server. Now you can see that if I submit my data without any proper format of data, see here. If I write like this, it won't give any error. If I start entering anything, capital letter, small letter, number, like that, see, no error. If I enter proper data, then only it will submit our application form. Otherwise, it will gives you error because of jQuery validation.js. Like this, we'll use here all jQuery effects. Here jQuery slideshow. So by that, I can show you that slideshow effect. Here left and right, that movement, fading effect, fade in, fade out, fade toggle, like that zooming effect. Here one image to another image, you can show that zoom effect. Here one image will go backside, another image will come front. So I can show you, see here this way. This is the way of displaying that zooming effect. Here you can see here shuffle. One image to another image, we can show you that shuffling effect. Yeah, here turn down effect. That image will go down, another image will be displayed. We can show you turn down effect like this. See, that image is going down, another image is displayed. So this is the way of displaying that turn down effect. All effects we can show you like this. All jQuery effects we can show to the user like this. So this is about the jQuery. So in tomorrow class, I'll explain to you how to work with Ajax, responsive design, bootstrap, lessons and project. Okay. Yeah. Up to now, any doubts? Yes, up to now, any doubts? No. Okay, yeah. You can freely ask your question whenever you get doubt. Don't wait for my question. You can ask any point of time. You know, no need to wait for end of the course or end of the session. You can ask your question whenever you get doubt. Okay, yeah, that's it for today. We'll meet tomorrow 9:10. 9:10 I'll join in the class. I'll continue 9:40 like that. 9:37, 9:40 like that. I'll continue for the next class. Next, after that, Thursday onwards, we'll continue with a full 1 hour session. Okay, thank you.